Next question is from Scott on Instagram. It's been my head brewer's practice of raising the fermentation temperature of all beers near the end of fermentation. I'm very familiar with this practice on cooler lager ferments and fermentation where the grist is heavy in Pilsner malt. If, for example, I were fermenting a 1064 IPA with London ESB yeast at 68F, would it be necessary or recommended to raise the temp near the end of fermentation to get the most attenuation out of that strain? Now, first of all, how do I want to say this? I think it's great that you are asking questions, but I would encourage you to have open conversations with your brewer. And this is not what I'm saying is happening here, but I can see sometimes a brewer maybe getting defensive because we all have our weaknesses if they're being questioned with certain practices. But anyways, that's just a side note, and I appreciate the question, and it's all in the way that it's handled. I am not familiar with but warming up lager ferments toward the end for diacetyl. That's pretty traditional. And where it's heavy in Pilsner malt, I've not heard that. But ramping up ale fermentations is also something that you can do. I don't know if it necessarily toward the tail end of fermentation, if I didn't mention that. I do know that it will help speed up the process of finishing out and cleaning up the beer, reabsorption of diacetyl and other fermentation byproducts that are still consumable by the yeast. And so it can help the yeast finish out. I don't know if it necessarily makes it go drier, but it can help it stay. Rolling. And I would say especially in some British strains, because those British strains can have a tendency to maybe kick a little bit more diacetyl. And so ramping that up into the low 70s during the last, maybe 2 Plato, 8 points of your fermentation, the last 15 to 20% of your fermentation, that is an absolutely acceptable practice and pretty universal, I would say. So I wouldn't see there being any issue with that. But Brad, I appreciate the question, my man. I'm not out of my magic coffee just yet.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. If you feel as if you got any value out of the video, please like and subscribe. There are also other videos that you can watch. They're gonna maybe be over here or over here. Appreciate you watching.